I wanted to just briefly talk about some of the benefits of stretching and why it is that we might want to do this to help us with our stress. One of the things is that it increases our flexibility by doing stretches, which helps us with our everyday activities. And this is huge, helps delay reduced mobility. And what that is, if we catch ourselves, whether you are sitting in a chair, sitting in front of the TV, or like we're doing so much right now, sitting at a desk, and I know many of you probably have got up before and you go, oh, okay, just a minute. And it takes you a second to get going because your knee, your hip, your back, Jamie's laughing, because we do this where we will sit so long that we get up and it takes us a minute to get going. So if we can do some stretches throughout the day, it helps with that. And some of these that I found, I've been doing them since last week, and I can tell you, they really do help. Increasing your range of motion, our performance in physical activities. If our loved one is still at home and we're having to help them with their activities of daily living, if we can keep ourselves a little more limber, that can help us as well. Increasing blood flow to our muscles, and it shortens our recovery time and it reduces muscle soreness. Even though when you first start, if you haven't done any stretching, you may be a little bit sore the next day. And then as you continue to do it, that lessens. And then it helps our body to relax and to rid itself of anxiety, especially when you're breathing through stretches. And if you're somebody who has ever done any type of a yoga, that's one of the things that they teach you is that you breathe through stretches. And we're going to talk about that when we start with some of our examples today. You do not want to hold your breath while you're doing stretches. That actually can increase anxiety. A few more things, benefits from stretching is it improves our posture. We can catch ourselves really starting to slump and hunch over throughout the day if we're sitting very much, regardless of what it is that we're doing. Even if we're just sitting off to one side an awful lot, stretching can really help with that. It can help to heal and to prevent back pain. And then it's great for a stress relief because when we're under physical and emotional stress, we tend to sit, lay down, stand, drive with our muscles tense. You may even catch yourself clenching your jaw because you're just staying in this tense state all the time. Or you may wake up and you're curled in and your muscles are tense and you're asleep. And that's from stress. Another great thing stretching can do is to help calm your mind, because while you're stretching, if you try very, very hard to just be present in the moment, it's called mindfulness. It gives your mind a little bit of a break, even if it is for 2 minutes. It can give your mind a little bit of a break, almost like setting a reset button. And then if you have ever suffered with headaches, if you've ever had tension or stress headaches, this is what the doctor will tell you to do. Usually, as they also write you a prescription, but they will also say to do these things: a proper diet, hydration, rest, and stretching to help with stress or tension headaches. So as we're getting a lot of people on the call, that's great. I just wanted to kind of throw out there and ask, and I know most of you are muted, so you can either unmute yourself or you can write in the chat box. And Jamie, I can't see it, so if anybody writes in it, please tell me. Where in your body do you carry your stress? There's really 3 places that I found that most of us carry it, and I just wanted to throw that out there. Where do you carry yours?
Shoulders, neck and shoulders, neck and shoulders, neck and shoulders.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's my top line.
So what I found was, surprise, neck, shoulders, and upper back were the 3 that I found is where we normally carry the majority of our stress. Was anything else, Jamie?
No.
Neck and shoulders? Yeah. So whenever I got to looking and I was kind of researching this, neck was the one that came up first. And that's where we do, just like she's sitting there holding, where we get this, and it is stress in our neck, in our shoulders right here, and then the upper parts of our back. So this is what's called warm-up stretches. And if you were doing these on your own, you would do each of them 3 times and hold them for 10 seconds. We're going to do each one time and hold it for 10 seconds because there's 4 of them and we've got some others we want to get to. But this is some of those that are really simple to do. You can do them anywhere. It doesn't matter what other people think. They look over at you and you've got your arms, but you're doing these stretches. And I think you'll be amazed if you'll do these right now with us, and we're going to do them together, what you will feel. And that's what I'm going to ask you to do, because we just mentioned neck, shoulders, and upper back. So if you'll kind of concentrate on that area, neck, shoulders, and upper back. So I've put on here, if you feel pain other than a stretch at any time while you're doing any stretches, stop. Stop doing it immediately. You always want to breathe through the stretches, and you don't ever want to hold your breath. For those of you that might have come on a little bit late, I was saying that, you know, stress can relieve anxiety, but if you're holding your breath while you're doing it, it actually could make your blood pressure go up or make your heart rate go up, and that's not the point. We want it to come down. So we want to take deep breaths while we're doing it. Preferably, and our last one we're actually going to do is belly breathing. We're going to, because we did breathing, was our first one, wasn't it, Jamie? It was our very first stress relief a few weeks ago, where we want to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth, and that our belly is what we're breathing. Instead of chest breathing, where our chest goes up and down, we want our belly to go in and out. So as we're doing these stretches, if you'll kind of concentrate on that as well. And the first one we want to do, this is one of these 4 are probably the easiest ones, and it's the very first bullet point there. Reach your arms out to the side as though you were trying to touch the walls on either side of the room you're in. Reach as far as you comfortably can and continue to reach, and hold that. We're going to do this for 10 seconds and then put our arms down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. And you can, if you think about where you're feeling that, if you feel it in your neck, your shoulders, and your upper back. The next one, we're going to go right in front of us. So we're going to put our hands out in front of us and just reach as far as we can, and continue to do that. And we'll go to 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Well, I really felt that right there. And then this one is putting your hands up toward the sky as far as you can, like you're trying to envision, like I'm going to reach up to the ceiling, and to hold that for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let that down. Now I'm talking out loud with my counts. Normally I wouldn't be doing it out loud because you can't breathe as well when you're doing it out loud, when you're talking out loud. When we start doing the ones for 30 seconds in a minute, I'm actually going to touch the timer on my phone, because I found as I was practicing these earlier, if I'm counting to 30, I was catching myself almost hyperventilating because I'm not taking the deep breaths. So I'd encourage you to either just count to yourself when you're doing these on your own, or to set your timer on your phone. It's very, very easy to do. The 10-second ones, you really don't need it, but 30 seconds, give yourself that full 30 seconds. And then this one actually is my favorite. I do this throughout the day, sitting at the computer, and it's shrugging your shoulders up as high as you can, like you're wanting your shoulders to touch your ears, and holding that for 10 seconds. So let's do that, where you shrug your shoulders way, way, way up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That one is my favorite. I do that several times a day, and I do that one in traffic a lot. If you're having to sit in the car, if you do that while you're taking some deep breaths, that really relieves tension up in the upper back. So let's look at these others, and these were some that when I was specifically looking for stretches to relieve stress. So this is called an upper trap stretch. And I actually found a picture here, but the one that I was watching suggested that you actually sit on your left hand. So if you just put your left hand under your bottom, because that's going to keep that one from trying to raise up as you're doing this. And then you take your right hand, you reach over your head and put your middle finger kind of rest on your left ear. And what you're going to do is we're going to gently pull. We're not going to turn our head, but we're just going to gently pull. I've got to set my timer real quick because it went away, of course. And we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. You normally would do it 30 seconds 3 times. We're going to do it 1 and then switch over to the other side. And again, if you'll concentrate on your breathing and then what you're feeling in your neck, your shoulders, and your upper back. So let me start the timer. And what you do is you're just gently going to pull. Remember to breathe in through your nose. That was 30 seconds. So give yourself, stop, give yourself that full 30 seconds. We think, well, that isn't very long. And then you see 30 seconds is a long time to hold a stretch. And what this suggested that you do is that you alternate side to side. So now we would sit on our right hand, and they show it putting your hand behind your back, but as I was reading through it, it said if your hand's behind your back, lots of times that shoulder will start to come up. And then you'll reach over with your left hand to your right ear. And same thing, we're going to stretch for 30 seconds and remember to breathe during this. Okay, that's 30 seconds. Another thing you can be thinking of, and I was trying to do that as I was breathing, is my chest going up and down or is my belly coming in and out? We want to be belly breathing during this time. Okay, the next one. I'm not going to attempt, I believe that was I was looking on physical therapy sites and occupational therapy sites. This is a scap stretch, levator, levate. I'm not even going to try to say what it was. Okay, so with this one, you reach back, you take your right hand and you're going to reach back to your right shoulder blade. You turn your head to a 45-degree angle, so it's not straight, but it's not all the way turned. So it's just slightly turned, like I'm slightly turned. You're going to take your other arm, put it above the head, and then you're going to tuck your head, and it said to pretend like you're trying to put your chin under this arm, putting your chin under this arm. So like we're pulling our head down, putting our chin here. And we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. Remember to breathe while you're doing this. I'm going to start the time. Okay, there's the time on that one. Wow, I could really feel that one. And I can't see everybody, but if you can, if you're feeling it in your neck, shoulders, and that's one of the reasons that you have both of your arms up with that one, so that you're feeling it in your shoulders and upper back. And then we'll switch and do the other side. So you would reach back with your left arm, touching your left shoulder blade, then turn your head that 45-degree angle, go to the right. Then we're going to pull our head down like we're trying to put our chin under our right arm. Let me start the time on that one. Okay, there's the time. And I don't know if you've noticed, but as you breathe, I mean, I could feel my chin going a little bit further down, where I was able to pull that stretch a little more. And the more you do these, the better you'll get at them also. Now this next one, this one is really interesting. In fact, I got to looking into how does this work and why does it work? So I'm going to talk through it before we do it because it's an interesting one. It's called an SCM stretch. We're going to turn our head to about a 45-degree angle. She's got on that picture, hers is turned a little bit more than that, but she's doing the exercise because what we do is we tilt our head to that 45-degree angle, and then we use our eyes, and you look with your eyes. So let's say I'm going to do it to the right first. I'm then going to use my eyes and really try to look at my right shoulder. And you will feel a stretch go all the way down your neck. And the reason is the cranial nerves are connected to the eyes and the neck. If you'll really be breathing through this, you will feel it. And then we'll alternate over and do the other side. So again, it's a 45-degree angle. And then you don't turn like this, you're just using your eyes, which is hard to see on the computer, but it's like you're trying to make your eyeballs go as far as you can over to this shoulder and breathe through that and kind of concentrate on your neck area. So let's start the time for this. There's the time. That to me is one of an odd sensation to know that your eyes are stretching the muscles in your neck. Now we'll turn and do the other side. So looking to the left with just a 45-degree angle. And then we're really going to use our eyes and cut over to this left shoulder as far as you can. Okay, let's start. All right, there's the time on that one. So I thought that one is interesting. Okay, now let's just talk a few minutes about belly breathing. Now, when I was doing the one with the eyes, to me, I thought that was easier to concentrate on making sure it was my belly that was going in and out. You can see on this demonstration here, the nerves in the belly are directly related to the diaphragm and the pelvic floor. So what's going on whenever we are living in this constant state of stress? When we stress, our belly, our diaphragm, and our pelvic floor react, and they go into the fight, flight, or freeze as well. And that is why so many caregivers end up getting diagnosed with something called IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, because we literally, the stress is making our digestive system freeze, or it's making it go into the fight and flight. And so we will either have chronic constipation or we'll have chronic diarrhea. And it is all because of our stress levels. And part of it is because of our breathing. When we are breathing from up here, chest breathing, we're never getting those full breaths, which is supposed to be filling up our belly whenever we breathe. So you can see in that little diagram there, that's what it should look at. When we inhale, our belly should be coming out. And when we exhale, that belly should be going in, not the chest. And one of the ways you can figure out if you're doing this is by putting a hand on your chest and putting a hand on your belly and to breathe. If you haven't practiced belly breathing, it's easier to do if you lie down to first start with, because you can really see. I've even had some where it says to put a book on your belly and make sure that that book is going up and down. And then I found this also and thought this would be good, especially if you haven't done it before. And we're going to practice this just for a minute. If you'll put your left hand on your chest and your right hand, like right over your belly button, and we're just going to go step by step. Either stand, sit, or lie down comfortably in a quiet place. Close your eyes, loosen any tense muscles, relaxing our shoulders. Place one hand on the upper chest and another on our belly button. And we're going to breathe in slowly through the nose for 3 seconds. Feel your stomach expand. Your chest should remain still. And then breathe out through your mouth for 3 seconds and feel your stomach move back down. Okay, so let's try that. We're going to breathe in for 3 and then out for 3, and make sure it's your belly that's going up and down. So let's breathe in. And out for 3. And you may have to do it several times if you feel your chest going up and down. And this is one, as you practice it, you'll get to where you don't even have to put your hands on your belly anymore. You can make yourself belly breathe. So we know it takes about 28 days to make or break a habit. And if we've been going along doing chest breathing for years or for months or for weeks, you have to make yourself think about it. And then it says repeat steps 4 and 5, gradually increase the time you take to breathe in and out. 4 seconds in and 4 seconds out, then 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. And again, this is something that as lives as caregivers, we can practice this before we pick up the phone. Take that deep breath. We can practice this before we go in a room. We can practice this before we respond. And it gives us a minute to think about, okay, should I say that or not say that? Or should I do that or not do that? Because our filters are still working. Our loved ones' filters are not working, but ours are still working. And if we'll take that breath, sometimes it buys us that time we need before we say or do something that we don't want to say or do. All right, and so that was all of the stretching. I hope that you will use those this week and you'll start to incorporate some of those. And I did want to go over our journal prompt for this week for those of you who are journaling, and I hope that you are. This one, you hear a lot about gratitude journaling, and many of us are very good about being able to just list. I'm just going to list all these things that I'm grateful for, and you'll find yourself with the same list every day, day in, day out. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful that I've got a job. I'm grateful that I've got a house. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful. Okay. So what I'm asking you to do here is to go ahead and make that list. Make at least 10 things you're grateful for, but then to take that a step further, to go a little bit deeper into it and say, now, why am I grateful for that? So I just did an example with, I am grateful for my job. I'm grateful to have this job. Well, why? And to go deep into it, and I put, I get to help people every day. That makes me feel good, and I'm providing a service that others need. That's a much deeper gratitude journal. And if it is your health, you may have something specific. I've seen it so specific where somebody even went, I am grateful that both of my legs, I have got legs that will carry me where I need to go. I am grateful to have these hands to be able to provide care for my loved one, and to really get specific with your gratitude journal.